Mikey, hi, nice to meet you.
Afternoon, Tim. Nice to meet you too.
Just to start, if I may, on a personal note, I mean, the men's and women's setups are two teams, but one club. You share a training centre and must get to know each other quite well. It must be hard to see a colleague leave her job like this.
Yeah, of course. It's never nice when someone loses their job, particularly someone like Mel, who I have a lot of respect for personally. It is unfortunately the industry that we work in, and it's sort of part of the job, so to speak. So yeah, obviously I wish Mel well, and now I'm just excited and looking forward to working with the girls and hopefully progressing the team forward however long I'm in the role.
How did you find out? How have you coped with this news? What change has it meant for you?
Oh, it's been a huge change, a huge surprise. The club have been amazing. Sort of late yesterday afternoon when we were talking about players going out on loan for the under-21s men's team that I work with and kind of doing last minute deals for deadline day, and then was very kindly asked by David and Mike to lead the team during this period. Obviously, I'm privileged, honoured to be asked to kind of steer the ship through what is clearly a challenging time, but it's something that I'm really looking forward to, really excited about. And we've got a massive game against Manchester United on Sunday, and we're going to do our best to prepare the players to perform in that game. There's some brilliant staff that I know, some staff that I need to get to know, but I'm sure that we can do the club proud on Sunday.
I don't want you to betray confidences, but how have the players taken it? It must have been a huge shock to them.
Yeah, I think it's always challenging when a head coach departs the football club, whatever the circumstances. So for the players, it has been difficult. I think it's important that we acknowledge that first and foremost. And then also it's about accepting that, supporting them through that process, and then moving forward to the next challenge, which is Manchester United on Sunday. And now our focus goes onto that, and we've got to perform the best we possibly can.
You will know from your experience, often players can feel a sense of responsibility, perhaps guilt, when managers who lose their jobs really for their results on the pitch. How do you cope with that? How do you help them through that mentally? What have you said to them?
Well, I think initially today we've just had a conversation where I've met the players. I think the benefit of the game being away on Sunday is we're going to be on the coach for a long time. So I explained to them that my intention is to sit down with every player one-to-one, to get to know a little bit about them, to hear what they're feeling, how they're feeling, and how I can support them. That's my role. That's what drives me as a person, helping people be the best version of themselves. And this is a great opportunity to do that. So I'll be using that time, travelling time, to help them get into the right frame of mind for Sunday.
If we're honest, sometimes a change can produce positive results, can't it? I assume every player will see this as a clean slate for them and a chance to impress you and the rest of the staff. Yeah,
I think, look, let's not beat around the bush. Footballers are usually happy when they're playing, and they're not always happy when they aren't. So there'll be mixed emotions surrounding the change. I think change in any walk of life, whether that be football or life, is always hard at first, but it's how we deal with that, move through it over the next couple of days going into the Man United game and then beyond for however long this adventure lasts.
Finally for me, is Manchester United away the best or the worst fixture to have in a situation like this?
It's a brilliant
away trip, which is a good point, having some time with them, but the other factors, where they are in the table, the history between the two clubs, that sort of stuff.
It's a brilliant fixture. If you can't be excited and get yourself up for Man United away, then I'm not sure you should be involved in football, to be honest.
So you're not worried? They're fourth in the table. It's a tough one.
No, it's just a great.
It's the game that you got next.
Yeah, for me, it's a great challenge, a great opportunity. We did well against them earlier in the season, and we'll be really, really confident going into the game, and we'll give it our absolute best.
Enjoy the weekend and the week.
Thank you. Hi,
Hi,
Brian.
Mikey. How familiar are you with the squad and the matches that they've actually played?
Yeah, of course, it's been a huge shift in focus for me because my role has been with the men's and the academy. But I think we are really tight as a club and the buildings are so close together, and I've had a lot of interaction with the staff and players over this season. So look, I'm not going to be disrespectful and sit here and say that I'm an absolute expert in the WSL, because I think that would be disrespectful to the staff that work in it every single day. My focus has been with the men's and the academy side, and now my focus is to shift and lean on the staff that are the experts in that area and help them be the best they can be moving forward.
And in terms of the practicalities, apart from the bus trip, how much training are you going to get, and how much time are you going to get to talk to
So
players?
we've got one session tomorrow on the grass, but also a lot of coaching is done off the grass, plenty of analysis sessions. So we've got lots of work that we can do in the time that we've got. Of course, it's minimal time, but again, it's just another challenge that we'll try and overcome.
Tell us a bit about yourself and your footballing philosophies, beliefs, what your whole game plan is based on.
So it would just align to the football clubs, really. So we want to dominate the ball. We want to have more of the ball than the opposition. We want to play exciting football. When we haven't got the ball, we want to get it back as quickly as we possibly can. And then in terms of set pieces and things like that, be really robust in both boxes, be a threat from set pieces attacking wise, and be really solid defensively. So in a nutshell, pretty simplistic, but that would be, the foundations in which we work.
And just fine from me, are you aware of any injuries or any team news you can give us in terms of the squad?
So I've actually got a meeting with the physio and the medical team after this conference. So I'll get all that information this afternoon. Thank you.
Dan?
Hi, Mikey. Good to speak to you.
Hi, Dan.
I just wondered how kind of transferable your skills are in terms of working with the men's and the young boys, kind of moving into working with the women. Is it still kind of the same? Is it football at the end of the day?
Yeah, great question. You probably need to ask me that in a week's time. I'll let you know how I get on with it. But my instinct is that we're dealing with human beings, and I pride myself in hopefully getting the best out of people. So I have no concerns with that regard. I think in terms of leading, managing people, getting the best out of individuals and a team, that's kind of what I've been doing sort of for the last 20 years or trying to do for the last 20 years. So I'm hoping that the skills will be transferable for sure.
And have you got any indication as to how long this process might be? And, is it something that you want to be involved in, for quite a while?
Well, I think the remit to me is just to help the club out with this situation, to step into the role for as long as it takes. And I'm prepared to do that for as long as it takes. As I said before, I'm really excited. We've got some amazing games this week, and I'm happy to help the club, help the team, help the players to get better, however long that lasts.
That's brilliant. Thanks very much. Thank you.
No problem, Dan.
Emma?
Yeah, hi Mikey, nice to meet you.
Hi, Emma. Nice to meet you too.
Cheers. I guess just referring back to the statement in regards to Mel's departure, obviously the club said that there'd been investment, but results and performances weren't at the level that they had hoped. So I just wondered, from the outside, I guess a lot of people were quite surprised by that. Where did the club expect Brighton to be at this stage of the season, and what are those expectations?
Well, I think that's probably not a question for me to answer, but what I can say is that the club's overarching vision is to be a top 4 WSL club. So I think that's what we're working towards. We understand it's a big project. The growth and the investment in the women's side of the game at this football club, I think, is unprecedented. It's grown unbelievably in the time since I've been back at the club. This is my second spell at the club. In the last year, constantly recruiting staff. It's growing. The training ground's growing. It's an amazing time to be a part of the women's game at this football club. So I think, as I say, it's probably a question for the powers that be to answer in a bit more detail, but that is the overarching aim, and everyone's clear on that. It's top 4 WSL.
So is that top 4 as in this season, or is that kind of long to medium term type ambition?
I think that's our long-term vision. Again, probably best to speak to David Weir and Mike Cave on those ones.
No, I appreciate, but obviously, we can't actually speak to David Weir, so I guess you're the ones that we're having to direct the questions to. But I just wondered how, obviously, a lot of the recruitment done at Brighton, it seems to be done by a separate team. So obviously, again, you might not know a lot of this, but I just wonder how much of the involvement with the staff they actually had in terms of selecting those players. And, obviously, you've kind of not really played a part in this transfer window, so I guess a lot of the fans' question is why now? Why is the timing now? Because it seems, first day after the transfer window, it seems like quite a bizarre situation, really.
Yeah, again, from my perspective, I wasn't involved in that decision-making process. So literally the first time I found out about this was yesterday. So I'm sort of stepping in to help the team. And those kind of broader overarching things are not really for me to answer.
Okay, thanks, Mickey. All the best.
No worries. Thank you.
And finally, Sean.
Hi, Mikey. Just the one from me. Brighton fans will look at the managerial change that have gone in the past year, 2 years, and there probably is a bit of worry in the fan base. What is your message to the fans, and sort of what would you tell them to sort of calm down and make them believe in this team?
Well, I think that if you're a fan of your football club, then you're a fan through whatever the circumstances are. This club as a whole, has an unbelievable history in recent years of where we started and where we are currently, both on the men's and the women's side. So I think it's just exciting to be a part of that, whether you're a member of staff, whether you're a fan. And my message to the fans would be, get behind the players, get behind the staff. We've got an unbelievable game against Manchester United on Sunday. We've got 2 cup games this week, so we could progress in 2 cup competitions. I appreciate that change is always difficult. It's also inevitable in football and in life. That's my experience. So my message would be, get behind the players and let's try and win some football games as long as this period of time lasts for me personally.